Right now, for dozens of people are facing charges in connection to riots in our nation's capital. What we're learning about some of the suspects and why more people could be arrested. Plus, bring on the real noise. Crews are putting the finishing touches on Bills Stadium to make sure it's safe for Bills Mafia tomorrow. We'll show you what fans can expect at the playoff game in Orchard Park.
So I definitely cried. Just more so mad.
And we'll hear from a Bills fan who had her dreams of seeing the team play in person this weekend snatched away when she tested positive for COVID-19. Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on News 4 at 4. I'm Christy Kern. And your top 4 federal and local authorities are working to identify the rioters who stormed the Capitol. So far, at least 82 people have been arrested. Skylar Henry has the very latest from Washington, D.C.
The search for rioters who assaulted the Capitol is in full swing. The FBI released a wanted poster Friday morning asking for the public's help in finding dozens of people seen in photographs and video. Authorities are also looking for this suspect, who may be responsible for the pipe bombs planted outside the RNC and DNC sites in Washington.
We are fully across the administration pursuing every avenue of justice available.
The Department of Justice announced Friday Richard Barnett of Arkansas, seen posing behind Speaker Nancy Pelosi's desk, has been arrested and charged with theft and violent entry. Also charged, newly installed West Virginia state legislator Derek Evans, who live-streamed on Facebook video of him storming the building. Evans released a statement saying he was there as an independent member of the media to film history.
Yeah, it turned into chaos.
This Chicago resident was arrested at the Capitol. He admits entering the building and is now showing remorse.
It had nothing to do with charging anybody or anything or any of that. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I regret my part in that.
Numerous other trespassers have also been identified, including conspiracy spreader Jake Angeli from Arizona, known as the QAnon Shaman.
I was on the front line.
Boyd Camper came from Montana.
If you haven't heard, it's called the Insurrection Act.
More arrests are expected in the coming days, with suspects facing various charges, including unlawful entry and possibly homicide, following word that a Capitol police officer has died from his injuries. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
And we, of course, will continue to bring the latest on the attacks in Washington, D.C. on air, also online at WIVB.com. You can also download our free News 4 app for any updates. Well, the Bills wildcard game against the Colts kicks off in less than 24 hours. We have team coverage for you this afternoon as crews work to get the stadium ready to host fans for the first time in all season. We begin with News 4's Chris Horvata. He is live at Bills Stadium to tell us what those fans should expect. Chris, good afternoon.
Well, Christy, good afternoon. They should really expect all of these COVID restrictions to be closely enforced, carefully enforced, I should say. That, of course, includes mask wearing and no tailgating in the parking lot. About 6,700 fans do have a ticket to this game. Of course, they had to get tested earlier this week. We don't know exactly how many of those people will get in. Remember, they had to pass that COVID test to be able to get through the gates tomorrow. The Bills say they're working through the list of fans who won't be able to use their ticket. And Governor Andrew Cuomo said a short time ago this afternoon of about 7,000 people who were tested at the event, the positivity rate was 1.9%. The Bills VP of Operations and Guest Experience, Andy Major, called the two-day testing event very successful with a successful turnout. If you pass your test when you show up at the stadium tomorrow, you'll need three things: your ticket, of course, your ID, and proof of that negative test.
Abbott Road is going to close at 9:30 in the morning, and our parking lots open at 10:30 in the morning for the fans. The gates will begin at 11 o'clock in the morning for some early entry for fans, but the fan timed entry doesn't start until 11:30, and then those go in 10-minute increments.
Major says if you haven't gotten your test result within 24 hours of being swabbed, to give their ticket office a call so they can look into that situation. The Bills, of course, hoping all goes well in the stands, also on the field tomorrow. If they get a win on the field, they'll be hosting another game right back here next weekend. And if all goes well in the stands and here in the parking lots as well, they are hoping the state gives them the go-ahead to have fans at that divisional round game as well. Reporting live at Bill Stadium, Chris Hrvatich, News 4.
All right, Chris, a lot of excitement leading up to that game. Thank you. Well, some playoff ticket holders are getting the heartbreaking news that they've tested positive for COVID-19 and they cannot attend the game. One extreme Bills fan who has actually been on our air before when she had a Bills-themed wedding is one of those people dealing with that news. Our News 4's Erica Brecker talked to her about getting those results.
It is the toughest pill for major Bills fans to swallow who have made it to this milestone in the season, who have secured a playoff ticket, and who were so excited to go to the game. Celeste Klein and her husband got their COVID tests on Wednesday and then got the call they were hoping not to get about 24 hours later. As we've been reporting throughout the week, more than 6,000 people hoping to attend the game had to get tested between Wednesday morning and Thursday night. Celeste and her husband got theirs on Wednesday. She says they were obsessively checking their emails as they awaited the results, and then they got that call. Although devastating, they say they are thankful for their health and for how good the Bills are.
So I definitely cried. Just more so mad, and then immediately we were like, well, we have really mild symptoms right now, so we're lucky. I mean, even my husband said, he goes, they better still be good because I need to enjoy this in person. This isn't fair. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're set up to be good for a while.
Celeste says she did not have the signature COVID symptoms, only a runny nose. And she says there must be more of them out there because the New York State Department of Health employee who called them told the couple that she has made about 100 of these phone calls. Erica Brecker, News 4.
All right, Erica, thank you. And as other fans get ready to go to tomorrow's playoff game, the team is doing everything it can to give those 6,700 fans something to cheer about. Paul Stockman is here to tell us more. And Paul, it seems like the team is really pumped up to have fans back into the stadium.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, it's been a long time coming, more than 2 decades, really, since fans have seen the Bills on the home field in the postseason. You have to go all the way back to 1996 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the last time. It's the Clinton administration, just, you know, to age myself. Now, we have talked all week about the fans and how they finally get that chance to see the team in person this year. Players have said in the past that actually their accomplishments during the season mean nothing if they don't win this Saturday. You know, when it comes to the fans, it's actually a similar attitude from Coach Sean McDermott. Yesterday, he said even though he's happy to have the folks in the stands, he'd be even happier to give them a win in person tomorrow.
What's important is that our quality of play is where it needs to be to win a game. There's the game and the plays that are necessary to win a game will be made on the field. And you know, we're thankful certainly that our fans, 6,700 of them, will be able to at least watch some of the game.
Well, they've been giving them a show on TV all season, and we'll, of course, have more on the matchup as we get closer to that kickoff. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll reveal which Bills players made the All-Pro team and another first in franchise history. Paul Stockman for News 4 Sports.
All right, Paul, thank you. Looking forward to it. And Bills fans attending the game tomorrow should know Abbott Road in front of the stadium will be closed, but will have access to Lot 2 and Lot 6 from Abbott. Big Tree Road, that's Route 20A, which has been closed in the past, will remain open throughout game day. And most people will be watching the Bills game at home, but doctors are warning that gathering for the game could be deadly. We spoke to infectious disease experts at the University at Buffalo, Dr. Thomas Russo, earlier this week, and he is asking fans not to gather in groups to watch the big game.
For those of you that are watching at home, please be careful. Don't cross social bubbles, and we don't want to exacerbate a situation that we already have had a bump of cases because of the recent holiday events.
Dr. Russo says fans going to the game tomorrow should try to avoid eating or drinking in the stadium. He says keeping your mask up for the entire game is the best way to stay safe. And even if you won't be at Bills Stadium tomorrow, you can still get pumped for the game. Take a look at these cuties right here, showing off their Bills pride, dressed as Bills cheerleaders. How sweet is this? They also made a Josh Allen sign. Alexis shared this picture with us, and she says they are big believers in their confidence the Bills will win. How cute is that? My goodness. Also, our News 4 is your one-stop shop for Bills coverage tomorrow. It starts with a countdown to kickoff special at 10 o'clock in the morning. That is followed by Buffalo Kickoff Live at 11 o'clock. Kickoff is set for 1:05, and Buffalo Postgame Live will follow after the final whistle. Well, Governor Andrew Cuomo continues to push for more healthcare workers to get the vaccine. He says the state gets about 300,000 doses of the vaccine each week from the federal government. But he says that is not enough. He says he's worried things could get worse if those on the front lines don't get the protection they need soon.
We need the hospital staff safe. First, if they're infected, they won't show up to work. That reduces the hospital capacity. Second, if they're infected and they don't know it, they are then super spreaders.
Governor Cuomo says hospital capacity is mostly limited by staff shortages right now, caused by workers getting sick. Well, happening right now, a battle to allow indoor dining in the state's orange zones. A hearing is underway right now after dozens of local restaurants joined a lawsuit to reopen for indoor dining. Under the state's orange zone, only takeout and outdoor dining is allowed at bars and restaurants. More than 40 local restaurants are suing the state over those COVID restrictions. Officials say if restaurants in Erie County don't open up soon, many of them could be shut down for good. News 4's Marlene Tuskus will have an update on that court hearing coming up tonight on News 4. Well, coming up next on News 4 at 4, as coronavirus cases rise, flu cases are down. We'll tell you how the pandemic is changing the cold and flu season. Plus, Heather and her dog Otto have a special playoff edition of AutoZone. We'll hear their predictions for tomorrow's playoff game coming up next.
After a serious injury crash, hire the largest law firm to focus only on motor vehicle crashes. Call William Attar, 444-4444.
See it, shoot it, and send it to WIVB.com with Report It, sponsored by the Vinyl Outlet.
There's no hiding your porch and steps. At the Vinyl Outlet, you can beat the spring rush. Book now to lock in your early bird discount plus 30% off installation or special financing at thevinyloutlet.com.
I'm Ross Salino. People ask me all the time what their accident case is really worth.
I asked. Mine was worth $5 million more than insurance said.
Their case is often worth a lot more than the insurance company says.
Salino got me $600,000 more.
Call Salino Law now to see what your case is really worth.
Mine was worth $12 million.
Injured, call Salino, 888-2020.
What's up, y'all? It's Ice-T. Now, you never know what's going to go wrong with your car. It could be a transmission, could be the timing chain or that check engine light. Now, can I tell the future? Absolutely not. But I do know it's not a matter of if your car will break down, but when. And before that happens, you should call my friends at Car Shield. Their administrators pay for expensive car repairs, so you don't have to.
If it wasn't for Car Shield, I would have paid a lot of money out of pocket, and I would have been too happy. When I bought my used car, I didn't expect any problems right away. But when it broke down, I'm glad I had Car Shield.
So in 1 year, I saved $2,500. That's amazing.
I don't worry about car breakdowns because I have Car Shield.
Car Shield is like a guard dog protecting my wallet, which gives me real peace of mind when I drive. And you can take that to the bank.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-588-0771. 800-588-0771.
Well, for your health this afternoon, while cases of COVID-19 are skyrocketing all around the country, cases of the flu are extremely low. Elise Preston explains why flu cases are way down.
Hospitals have been bracing for a possible twin-demic this winter, a simultaneous outbreak of flu while COVID-19 also surges. But data shows influenza activity remains unusually low right now. Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University Medical Center says there are a few possible explanations.
Flu is imported into the United States from other parts of the world, and travel because of COVID has been way down. Then, of course, most of us are out there wearing masks, social distancing.
Who spreads the flu may play a role. Dr. Schaffner says while COVID in many cases is spread by adults, kids are the group that tend to spread flu in our communities.
Now, a lot of virtual schooling goes on, and when you do go to school, children are wearing masks, social distancing. So I think the main reason is that children are not sharing this virus amongst themselves.
Also, a record number of flu vaccines were produced for this season. The CDC reports more than half of adults were vaccinated by the end of December, higher than the same time in prior seasons.
After all of these holiday get-togethers, I'm worried that this twin-demic could still occur in January, late January into February. There's still plenty of time.
Which is why social distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, and staying home when sick are more important than ever. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Well, if you're looking for something fun to do with your family over the MLK Day weekend, you might want to check out the Aquarium of Niagara. The aquarium is offering a discount during its 716 Days promotion. Starting on Saturday, January 16th to the following Monday, you can buy one full-price ticket and get another one for $716. You will have to buy your ticket online to get that discount. Well, some exciting news for the City of Good Neighbors. Wegmans Meals to Go promotion raised $135,000 for the Buffalo Business Blitz. The grocery chain teamed up with Buffalo Bills cornerback Josh Norman and Mayor Byron Brown to support the initiative earlier this week. 100% of those proceeds from Erie and Niagara counties will go to provide grants to small businesses in Western New York. Well, Buffalo Bills players aren't the only ones getting hype for the big game. Take a look at this. Teachers at Fredonia Elementary School are getting hype as well. You can see they're decked out in Bills blue. And also check out the Alan Diggs 2020 sign. Seeing a lot of those around for the past few months, and definitely fun to see. Well, the stage is set for the Bills to take on the Indianapolis Colts in Orchard Park tomorrow. And News 4 Sports' Heather Prusak and her dog Otto share their playoff game day predictions.
This weekend, the Bills are looking to do something that hasn't been done in the Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane era, and something this franchise hasn't done since 1995, and that's win a game in the postseason. The Bills, of course, are hosting their first playoff game since 1996. Bills Mafia is going to be allowed at Bills Stadium, so the place is going to be rocking, but Frank Reich and the Colts are looking to silence those fans and the crowd. So, who's going to win? Well, a big emphasis for the Bills defense this week has to be stopping the run, because the Colts rely heavily on their ground game with rookie running back Jonathan Taylor. He's having an explosive first season in the NFL. In fact, since week 11, he has 741 rushing yards. That's second in that span to just Derrick Henry. So look for the Bills to make the Colts one-dimensional and force quarterback Phillip Rivers to beat them with his arm. Because in a shootout, Rivers can't keep up with Josh Allen on the other side. And then on the other side of the ball for Indy, their secondary is having problems defending the deep ball. So look for the Bills offense to once again be in that 10-11 personnel that we've seen. That's what's helped got them here to this point. Players have said don't change much as to what they've been doing. That got them to the playoffs, so look for that. But the Colts still have some big-time playmakers on that side of the ball. DeForest Buckner, Justin Houston, Darius Leonard. Those guys can create some problems here for the Bills offense. But still, despite that, I like the Bills in this one. I'm going to go 34-24 Bills. Anybody? Go. Otto is picking the Colts this week, so he's predicting that the Bills will get upset in the wild card game. We're disagreeing, and of course, we'll keep track of the results all postseason long.
All right, Heather, looking forward to seeing who comes out on top for that. Right now, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Todd Santos, because, Todd, obviously this is the first home playoff game in 25 years. So the fans, obviously some fans are going to be there. And finally this season, you've got a forecast to have to get fans ready for, because it's just been the players that we've been looking at this whole season.
And we've been talking about theoretical forecasts, a forecast for the drive-in, that kind of thing.
Right.
And if you're heading there or you're going to be outside in Chippewa, something like that, it's going to be about the same. We're going to find pretty nice conditions. Still, I'll call it mostly cloudy. We may see a few more breaks as you get closer toward 3 and 4 p.m. Temperatures mostly in the mid-30s. Not bad at all, especially by winter standards here in Western New York. These numbers are for Orchard Park, but for